everyone, and welcome to another Cheat Meal Monday. In the past, I've made so many recipes using cookbooks and using recipes that were written down. But a lot of people have asked me to do just regular cooking using the foods that are commonly found in my pantry. So I'm going to be doing a series of videos where I'm just sharing with you meals that I put together. You know, some of our best meals are meals that we put together. They're not meals that we find in a cookbook. Well, I love cookbooks, as you know, and I read them like a novel. I know it's good to sometimes just share with you everyday recipes that I use. So I'm going to share with you everyday recipes that come from my mind and not a written book. So here today we are going to work on a recipe that was something I put together. It's very simple, it's very frugal, and I think that you'll enjoy it. So let's get started. The only thing that I'm using that's of expense is the beef broth. Now I could have used chicken broth, but I really wanted to have some beef broth today. So we're going to put both of these in the beef broth. I'm going to add my home canned tomato juice. We're going to add my home canned corn. We add the juice as well because we're making soup. And now we're just going to throw things in which we found in the freezer or in our refrigerator. So, peas for 50 cents. A pack of frozen carrots that came from my garden, and they're all different kinds of colors. They're purple, and they're orange, and they're yellow. Now remember when we did the bulk food of the ground beef? So we're going to put the ground beef and the potatoes in. This made now, what, 9 meals? As you see, everything is frozen. That doesn't matter because this is going to be on low for a couple hours. To that we're going to add a quart of green beans from my garden. Now we have all these leftover potatoes that were for a meal. They were French fries, and I had some left over, and these are raw, but we're going to use these up because I had them in the refrigerator for about a day. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these up. And now we're going to add our cabbage. The cabbage that we got at the food bank, which I was so thankful for, because we're going to have a lot of cabbage in this soup. Go ahead and cook this down a little bit and see if I need to add more broth. So I'll get back with you in just a few moments. So many people struggle with how do we have a nutritious meal that doesn't cost much. Today I'm going to make some homemade bread with my $1.50 bread machine. We're going to have bread and we're going to have soup. Soup is your #1 thing that you can make that doesn't cost much money and you can feed a lot of people. So I'm going to go ahead and just share with you this recipe. I've made it hundreds of times on my videos. But for those of you who are new, I'm going to read the recipe. This is white bread. We're going to add 1 1/4 cups of water. You can make this in a mixer, you can make this by hand, and you can make it in a bread machine. To that we're going to add 3 cups of bread flour. You can use regular flour or you can use bread flour. I always use the ingredients as they're listed in the recipe book. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of powdered milk. This just gives you a very rich bread, and it also gives you a really nice texture. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'll show you our favorite cookbook for bread here in just a moment. And a lot of you have bought this cookbook after seeing all of my videos on it. 2 tablespoons of butter. And we are going to use my homemade canned butter. I love my homemade canned butter. It is amazing. And now we're going to add 3 teaspoons of yeast. A lot of people talk about my yeast and think it's a lot of it, but this is how the recipe calls for, and it gets perfect every time. 1 teaspoon of salt. And I got this at the Dollar Tree. It's amazing. You can do all kinds of measurements with 1 spoon. And then, last but not least, as you know, I got all of this dry malt. And we're going to add 1½ teaspoons of it. That helps the baking process. Also gives it a nice rich color. Alright, there you go. That's all we need to do to our bread. We're going to go ahead and put it in the bread machine. To those of you who are interested in this cookbook, this is my all-time favorite. It's the one that I use pretty much all the time. It's called Electric Bread by Williams and Simona. You can get it on Amazon or Thrift Books used. You can get it under $5, and that includes shipping. So here is our homemade soup, and it is amazing. We already ate like 4 bowls out of it. And then here we have our homemade bread. Brought to you by the bread machine. And we love having homemade bread, and using the bread machine just really saves you a lot of time. How I cut my bread is I use the electric knife. That cuts the bread in equal proportions. It's easy. It slices right through it. Using that malt, only 1.5 teaspoons. Look at the beautiful crust. And that's what that malt does. That stuff is amazing. I can't believe I got so much of it. So, there is our video for today. I hope you enjoy some soup and some homemade bread. I don't think I've ever made a video that it didn't have a lot of bloopers in it. Some people are natural speakers to the public, and other people like me are always tongue-tied. Here is from some bloopers I thought you might enjoy. This is the real life of making videos and trying to get it perfect. Hi everybody, and welcome to Homestead Tessie, where we bring Hi everybody, and welcome to Homestead Tessie, where we bring old-fashioned tradition. Hi everybody, and welcome to Homestead Tessie, where we bring old-fashioned traditions to life. friends, it's been another great day here on the homestead. I hope you're staying warm, and I hope you have a real good night. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!